Hey, it's Ryan from Ryan Fowler Photography. I've got this tutorial for you here that I'm going to go through and convert this image into black and white. This was from walking around Brisbane in George Street, and I put the shutter speed on a nice low shutter speed, so 1/10 of a second, and there are a couple of guys going past on bikes, and it's quite hard to get a solid, like a really stable shot. I think I did pretty well here. This was handheld, or I did hold my breath to actually get it that stable, but then I got these guys moving, this dude in the background moving, and these people over here walking, but the cars were stopped, which looks quite cool, I think. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll convert it into a black and white image. So first thing I'm going to do is I'll start by simply just going to treatment, black and white. And then that'll instantly convert it into a monochrome. It'll take all the color out, and then you can go ahead and do your edits. So I'll go ahead and do what I normally do first. So reduce the highlights, boost the shadows, so it brings out more of that detail in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Option key on Mac, I believe it's Shift on PC, and just click the white slider. Slide that along until I get a couple of little tiny pieces of pure white, which you can see speckling in the top left corner of the image. So I'm going to bring that down just so that they're not showing. And then I'll do the same with the blacks, slide it the other way. And there we go, we start getting some black, so then I'll just make sure that there's no pure black in there, but it's as close as it can be, so that I've still got all the detail that I want. And then I'll add in some clarity, which can make it look quite cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to go into Profile, enable Profile Corrections, and then choose the make of my camera, and then it automatically brings up the lens that I use to take this shot. You may have to find it if it doesn't come up or if it's not automatic. And then what you can do is you can change the amount of distortion in the image. So if I go all the way, it starts to drag out these corners over here. But if I go in, it starts to pinhole them, so I'm going to bring it in to about there so that this bulges out a little bit more and stands out a bit bolder in the shot. So I'll go back up and just add in some contrast, which is starting to, it brings out more of the detail, but it does highlight those shadows, that does darken those shadows in there, which I'm okay with because I can still see part of the detail in there. And then I'll come down here and I'll go into sharpening. So this wasn't a 100% stable shot, but I got pretty close. So what I'm going to do is, with black and white, you can really sharpen things. So I'm going to pump it up to 85, and I'll bring up the noise reduction, and then I'll do some masking. So I'm holding down the Option key, I believe the Shift again on PC, and I'll click the masking slider and just slide that across like that, so that it's only sharpening things that aren't black completely, which is, well, not huge amounts of the image because it's monochrome, but adds a nice effect. And you can see here now that I've got some really nice levels of sharpness right through the image in that focal area there. So this was taken at f/25, so it is a pretty in focus shot. And if I'm happy with that, which I'll do one little thing. I'll add a graduating filter just up into the corner here on this sky. So I'll click the graduating filter button, double click effect so it resets all the values, and then I'll just slide that, drag that across there a little bit and drop the exposure so it brings out more of that cloud detail. I'll add in some clarity, that brings it out again, click done, and then you can actually see the sky in the shot instead of just this weird blur looking thing with a slight cloud outline. And final thing I'll do is I'll add a vignette. So that's going to draw people's eye in. I'm pretty happy with that at -14. If you want to, you can drag the dehaze slider around a little bit, completely up to you. I think I'll just drag that a tiny bit there because it brings out the sky a little bit more, darkens the rest of the image. But you can see these kids a little bit better, and the reflection on the wet ground. So that's my little black and white conversion tutorial, only a little quick one, and a little basic editing process. You can go a little bit more elaborate if you really wanted to, but that's completely up to you. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to know what you think of it in a comment below. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to save this edit as a preset. So you can actually download that from the link directly below the video. And if you're watching this from the Lightroom Learning Centre, please click on the suggested video. That'll be something else that you may be able to work with in Lightroom during your editing process.